let's talk about that. I mean, that's what a lot of people may be thinking, that, you know, consultant comes in, gives a spiel, here's a program, see you later.
Yeah.
How do you actually work with business owners and their teams? I mean, we've mentioned with mid-manager, but take us a bit through that.
Well, once again, to give you a reference to that too, and I think, you know, for you, sorry, but for everyone listening in, best explanation I can give around that is the foundation of a presentation. The best presentation that I have ever seen personally, and I've seen plenty, just being in this space, was a guy from the Resilience Project.
Oh, so it wasn't mine.
You were second.
Yeah, right.
Third.
Last.
A guy from the Resilience Project called Hugh Van Cullenberg. Now,
read his book.
Yeah, people might know out there. So way back in the day, there was ourselves and the Melbourne Storm were actually quite active in getting Hugh involved in the NRL. So 2 clubs were identified, that was us in Melbourne, that had a bit to do, probably Melbourne in particular, a guy down at Melbourne called Brian Phelan, attached to Hugh, and we sort of picked the ball up from there. And so, sorry, I'm getting off on a bit of a tangent.
No, go for it.
Without doubt, Hugh's presentation and the content that he had is the best that I've seen in 10 years. Outstanding, really, really good. So what he would come in is basically once a year, come in and present, and we'd have a room full of players and staff that would walk out going, that's fantastic. And this is what started this whole thought process for me, is that what I then started to see, and I think a lot of people out there would be really familiar with this, is some core principles that have been locked in. Undisputable. Everyone just agreed, if I do that, my life's going to be outstanding. And then over a pretty measurable period, you would start to see it all fade. To the point where I can now identify that I think over those years, he was coming up for about 3 or 4 years, he had probably presented to say 300 odd players during that time, and staff, maybe a little bit more than that. And for me personally, I know of 2, possibly 3 people out of that whole audience who to this day now actively practice what it is. So what that showed me is just this one-off presentation, no matter how good it is, because it was good, it was really good. We need to go further, we need to go a step further. So for me, what Check 5 is about is exactly what you said. It's not about coming in and presenting to your crew and saying, right, this is what I need you to do, and then you don't see me again for a month or 6 weeks or whatever. It won't work. I need to, and the team, the Check 5 people, everyone involved needs to engage in your business. We need to become part of it. And then we need to identify a skill with those coaches. And then over that period of time, just like they do in sport, that's how it is. That's how it works in sport. Coaches, a whole group of them will get in a room, they'll look at a skill and say, we're deficient in this area, we're no good. Okay, for the next 6 weeks, that's what we're going to bang on.
Because of repetition.